Hey, welcome back to the Bust a Move YouTube channel. My name is William, and today is special. Today we are in my recording studio at my actual house. And if you've been following Bust a Move for any length of time, then you would have seen this room only one other time, and that would be in our video Christmas card that we sent out in the Christmas season of 2020. Other than that, this is fairly off limits most of the time to this channel, and but today is special. Today we are talking about running an online business and the mindset that it takes to do just that, and wondering if you're good enough sometimes, or if you know enough, or if it's right for you, or who's going to listen to you, anything like that. Discussing imposter syndrome, that kind of thing. And actually, I'm actually going to throw this in just a second to myself, and myself from the past will be teaching this, because this is actually a full video, a full excerpt of our training module in the Mobile Income Academy called Mindset Training. And I wanted to be able to give it to you for free. And speaking of giving things to you for free, I want to give you our free book. It's called A Guide to Making Money on the Road. And it actually sets up what you're about to see here. If you read it, it's a 14-page book. And it talks about the income streams that my wife and I use in order to pay for our adventure in the Skoolie and pay our bills and pay for food and all those type of things. And if you're curious how to make a full-time remote location independent income, then get that book. It's at the DIYBusGuy.com/free book. I want to give that to you, so go there and pick it up. And if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll figure out why I am holding this upside down guitar. And you may have been asking yourself the whole time, why is he holding an upside down guitar? Or maybe you're blissfully unaware that this is even a guitar at all. So, or much less that it's right-handed. But I'll explain that. My other self will be explaining that in just a few minutes. And if you stick around to the end, I will actually be doing a demonstration of what, that guy, the other me, talks about in the video. So stick around. I hope you enjoy the lesson from the Mobile Income Academy. Thank you so much. I mentioned at the start of this course that I got so fed up early on with coaches and people spending so much time talking about mindset and not talking about the actual nuts and bolts of what to do. And hopefully that through the how and the what categories of this course, you've started to put together everything that you need to do in order to launch your course and get started making money on the road, making that remote income that seemed possibly impossible, I guess, so to speak, before you started this course. Hopefully you're on the right track now, but it goes without saying that your mental capacity to do this is a very big factor. It's not just your life experiences. It's not just what you've learned in school. It's not anything like that by itself. It is all of those things. But somewhere in there, you do have to believe that what you have can change the world, or maybe not the whole world, but what you have to offer can change someone's world and set them up for success in some facet of their own life. And there's a thing that a lot of us wrestle with, and I wrestle with it all the time. I haven't made millions of dollars online, but I've done well, and so who am I? You can go listen to literally anyone, but hopefully I've done a good job explaining that this is me. I will be living in a Skoolie, and I'm currently building that out because I want to experience life on the road in a Skoolie and get out of the SUV that I was mentioning earlier. We have a house too, but the goal is to be mobile, and so I've spent the last 2.5 years becoming that and getting rid of all of the ties that would keep me in one location and going back to the same office every single day, all of those things. And so while I haven't made millions, I've done well. And so that's put me in a position to connect on a level that you may need to connect on. And so that is the mindset training. There's something in this called imposter syndrome where who am I? And I could just as easily wake up one day and be like, I haven't made millions of dollars. Nobody's going to care what I have to say about any of this. When the fact of the matter is, I may not have all of the notches in the belt, but the thing is, I know what I'm doing.
and I'm in the middle of doing it, and I don't have any plans to stop doing it. So I might as well talk about it, and I might as well share my experience and the tools and the tips and the tricks and the things that I've learned in order to make this a reality for myself. I might as well share that with other people. And so, yeah, I mean, does it feel like I'm an imposter sometimes? Maybe. Have I ever run sound for, I don't know, Pink Floyd? No. But I still know how to teach you how to make your microphones not feedback. I still know how to teach you how to record that guitar where it sounds pretty stinking good instead of like some cheap thing that you just found at Walmart. So I can teach those things because, I mean, you don't really have to be the authority on the subject. I mean, you just have to know more than the person you're talking to. You have to have a little more experience than the person you're talking to. And I mean, sure, it would be nice to back that up with something you've done. So that's, yeah, of course, you have to prove yourself. But the fact of the matter is, I know a few things about a few things. You know what I mean? So somebody that knows nothing about a few things might need to hear what I have to say. And I actually learned how to play guitar that way as well. Like I never had formal lessons. What I would do is I would study what people were doing. And like I started playing when I was a senior in high school, and my brother was a freshman in college. And so everybody plays guitar in college. So like I would be the weird little brother that would go like stare at the people playing guitar, my brother's new friends or whatever, and kind of creep them out. But I would go home and play and like regurgitate what I saw them do, and I would rehearse it and play it over and over and over again until I could play it really well. And so were they teachers? Absolutely not. Did they know more than me? Absolutely so. And so I was able to learn from people that were technically worse guitar players than I became, and so like that's a weird way to say that too, but the fact of the matter is you don't have to know everything. You just have to know more than the person you're teaching, and it's the same thing with when I was in high school. I was really good at math, and so like I was in the grade level above me for math, and like I didn't know everything there was to know about trigonometry, but I knew the rules. And so like I found myself tutoring the seniors when I was a junior in high school, and so like that was a weird thing where like I didn't know all there was to know, but I knew more than the person that came to me for help, and so you just have to treat it that way. You can't be so self-deprecating that like you just freeze, because I mean, something that somebody else doesn't know, guaranteed. If you've made it this far, something that somebody that's looking to you for answers doesn't know. And I mean, there's really no better way to word it than that. I mean, you know more than the people that are one step behind you. And so just keep that in your mind, because you can do it. If you've made it this far and you found your idea that you want to launch into, and by now that you know what you're doing. Another guitar analogy. So like I play guitar left-handed, and so I'll be playing my guitar, and at the moment I start to feel like I'm a hack, like I don't know what I'm doing. I've been playing for over 20 years at this point, but the moment I feel like a hack, and I've played on ridiculous stages and stuff, and I've done a lot of very cool things. That guitar has taken me a long way, and I've done some really neat things holding that thing and playing it, and it's been awesome. But sometimes I kind of feel like, why me? Who am I to play this guitar? Or whatever, like you just doubts creep in. It's imposter syndrome. Who am I? Like nobody cares what I do when I play guitar or whatever. But then, or worse than that, like I'm not even good at all. Like that could come in every now and then. But a little trick I always do is I turn it over right-handed. Or better yet, I actually have a couple of right-handed guitars in my studio, and I'll pick one up, and I know everything how to play that guitar, but it's not what I do normally. So like I'll touch a right-handed guitar, and instantly it's like I've never touched any guitar. And so just find a way to remind yourself, like I may not be where I want to be, but I'm not where I started, and so those are the moments that make you remember, what, like I look like a child playing this right-handed guitar. Let me pick up my left-handed one again, and then I'll shred it. And it's one of those things, it's just a little reminder, and it's something that I do intentionally to remind myself how far I've come if moments like that creep in. And I don't know how to tell you to do that because I don't know what you're going after, but maybe if you want to comment on below this or something and tell me, like, hey, I'm struggling right here, then that's the deal. And, this video is getting way longer than I meant for it to because, I was kind of knocking the mindset training, but it is a valuable asset in kind of the, it's another arrow in the quiver, another analogy, like it's something you have to do a good job. You have to have the right mindset. So that's it, like just find ways to, if you're in your head negatively, you can also be in your head positively. So find a way to remind yourself how far you've come. And while doing that, you'll also be reminded that you are so farther down the road than the person that's trying to learn from you. And so just figure out how to work that knowledge into what they need to know. Talk to them about it, and then your business is back on track. Your mindset is back on track, and you're good to go.
I hope you enjoyed that. That is the entire module of mindset training on our Mobile Income Academy online digital course. And that teaches over my shoulder the step-by-step process of creating and implementing and marketing your digital product that you can use to teach someone. If you needed this video to be the final push that says you can do it, I'm happy to have done that, and I'm happy to continue doing that because I believe that you can do it. I believe that everybody that has learned something or lived something or just gained the knowledge on something over a long period of time, I guess that would be learning it, you have everything you need to give it to somebody that doesn't know that yet. And if you needed me to be the one that tells you that it's okay, you can go ahead and do that, then I'm happy to have been the one that told you that. And I'm happy to keep telling you that because I believe it to be true. So you heard me talk in that video about how I keep it fresh, how I normally play guitar left-handed, but sometimes I pick up this guy. This actually belongs to the nonprofit that I run called the Globe Music Project. We give these out to people that need them, that can learn to be musicians if they only are given the opportunity and the instrument. So anyway, side note, side plug. But anyway, I've been known to even play upside down on stage before. I don't make a habit out of it, but occasionally, like when we're trying to pitch the nonprofit and things like that, then I will play a couple of songs in front of people on this guitar upside down, which is crazy. But all my life, anytime I touched a guitar, and I didn't start playing until I was 17, but anytime I touched a guitar, I always picked it up and held it exactly like this, with my strumming hand as my left hand, my other hand as my other hand, as the chord hand. And everybody was like, oh no, you have to flip it around, you have to flip it around. And I always knew, even before I played guitar, like, hey, I don't play guitar, but if I did, it would be this way. I know it because it doesn't even feel remotely natural the other way. Which is kind of my point. So like I can pick up this guitar and I can play it this way, but as the tell to get to show myself how far I've come, I do flip it this way. And it's not so awesome when I try to play it this way because I'll show you the way that I'm comfortable playing. Upside down, the chords are upside down, all those kind of things, and it's just easy, It's a little out of tune, but it works. But you try to do the same thing this way, and hopefully it seems like that was natural because, it feels like it to me. So when I was saying I know everything I need to know to play the guitar this way, I do. I know exactly where my fingers go, and it just takes a minute to get there because this is not the way I'm comfortable doing it. So I'm there, and it hurts really badly because of, guitar calluses and things like that. But let me just try it like this. So it's so clunky, right? So that's what I mean. Like, I know what to do, but man, I can't go from that E major to A2 at all, hardly. Watch this. So anyway, that's the point. Like, I can't do that. But I can pick up my left-handed guitar that I play all the time and I've had for a whole bunch of years, almost 16 years. And I play like it's old habit because it is. So, you know. And that's it. That is me playing a left-handed guitar the way I'm comfortable doing it. And anytime I'm trying to learn a song or something and I try to get there and it feels like I'm not good enough or whatever, I pick up the other guitar and play it the way I just tried to play it. And it lets me know exactly how far I've come. And so that's what I'm trying to tell you to do. Make it absolutely just the most amazing part of your routine is settling yourself and bringing yourself back to center. And what I said in the video, it's like, I may not be where I want to be. I may not be doing this as well as I want to do it, but I'm not where I was. I'm not where I started. And so for me, that's the guitar. So another fun side thing is I actually teach guitar lessons. And one of the things, and this relates back to online business, one of the things that I tell my students is I can tell you where to put your fingers. I can tell you what to do. I can tell you how to strum, when to strum, where the beat is. I can tell you all of those things. But until you make it yours, you know, I can't play it for you. I can't do it for you. So just like online business, just like what we do with the Mobile Income Academy, I can tell you everything you need to do, but you're not gonna get there until you do it, until you practice, until you figure out, you know, he told me to do this. I can't do it exactly like that, but I know the goal is to do it like that. So I know, for instance, I know where my fingers go. And, you know, in this case, technically, this guitar is completely 100% backwards. It is fully inverted, but my fingers still go right there to make the E major chord. And so, lo and behold, you play it the way that you want to play it, and it's still an E major. So that's just a fun, that's a little side fact or whatever about all of this is like anybody can tell you what to do, but until you do it, until you figure out what works for you, in the same way that I can pick this up, the same guitar a right-handed guitar player would play, but I just flip it upside down. That's not the way that they would do it. That goes against the traditional wisdom of how to play guitar, but I can do it because I know how to do it. And that is not the point that I was making in the first video that you just watched, but it's the point that it is a sub point and a point that I'm making now. So there's the two things: keep it fresh, remind yourself, center yourself where you started and how to go from there, and then also figure out a way to make it yours. Figure out a way to make it your own and start your online business. Work it out, use the principles as a framework, but don't get bogged down doing step by step by step by step, because there is a path, but there's also your path. So that's free advice as well. So download the book. It is a guide to making money on the road. That's the title. It's 14 pages. It's a quick read, and get started. And it's just the best thing in the world, and it's the best way that we found to make a fully location independent full-time income. And I really like what I get to do, and I like talking about it with other people. So get the book. It's at thediybusguy.com/free book. And until then, get out there and see what you can do. And if you have to play a guitar to figure that out, then that's cool too. But other than that, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we want to be a part of your story, and we enjoy it when you come here and you're a part of ours. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bus love.